What's good, YouTube? Cardfight King here, Aqualife baby. You already know how it is. And so, today I wanted to bring you my undefeated DanDevimon deck profile. I used it last weekend. I just didn't get the video out. But I used it last weekend. And I'm gonna put my brother's War Gray profile up as well, because he also went undefeated. They had to cut the rounds, and I won due to just placing in Swiss. But I wanted to show you guys my deck profile here for DanDevi. It is my favorite deck in the current set 4 format. It wasn't a deck that was seen in any of the Japanese formats, so a lot of things about the deck are still being discovered, new tags and everything like that. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with the work a little bit backwards. Going to start off with the rookies first. So starting off with the rookies, we have two DanDevimon. Just mills 2 cards at the top of your deck, and it's a Devimon name. 2 Labramon on play, draw 1, drop 1, so it starts putting your Devis in the drop zone and helps you filter out. 2 Gazimons. One of my all-time favorite cards in purple. Love this card. Blocks memory gain outside of Tamers, so that's really good against a lot of decks. 4 copies of the vanilla DanDevimon, and then obviously we have the 4 copies of the promo Devimon. Promo Devimon is the star of the deck. It lets you cheat out as an inheritable. It cheats out your DanDevimon from the trash when you have 7 Devimons in the trash in total. So that's the rookie lineup, and then we'll go into the level 4s. So for those 4s, it's a different lineup. So we got 2 copies of Vilemon, just a solid blocker. 2 copies of Meramon, 1 cost Evo. 4 copies of Retaliation Devimon. You need to have this because Retaliation is just really, really good, and it's a Devimon name. And then 4 copies of the Blocker Devimon. So the reason why I run 6 blockers is simply because being able to put a blocker on top of this, and then your opponent wants to swing in or delete the blocker, that's fine, because then we're going to get a DanDevi out of it. So it pretty much makes your opponent pay for swinging on you and killing your card. Then you get to have like a retaliation, so it adds like a really nice defensive capability. And then at that point, if they do pierce it and or hit your security, then DanDevi's ability is going to go off to send one of their to burn one of their security. So that's the reason why I do that. Plus, it's it's another blocker, so it helps keep you alive as well. Level 5s, I'm running 3 copies of Myotismon and 4 copies of Lady Devimon. Myotismon's just a 7k but cheap 2 cost Evo. The 7k gets around War Greymon. He can minus it to 1k, but then he needs another card in his stack to get rid of it. But 7k is also a solid card to swing in. Same with Lady Devi. All level 5s generally get killed by Slash, but Lady Devi, great filter to get 2 cards into the trash, and her inheritable takes care of anybody leaving rookies on the board when you activate an option card by deleting a level 3. Then for the Megas, 2 Anubismon. Anubismon's good, especially as a closer, being able to Digivolve, get a rookie out, give it Rush, and then you can it can gain the Rush ability, so then you could Digivolve on top of with a Meramon or something, and because the card that you bring out gains the ability, then that transfers over to whatever you put on top of it if you have enough memory, and then you can swing Crash and bring out a DanDevi if you Digivolve on top of the DemiDevi, but otherwise anytime you bring out a card, it has Rush, and if you do that combo and you bring out the DanDevimon, that will also have Rush as well. So this guy is really a really strong card for the deck. And then 4 copies of DanDevimon. During your opponent's turn, once per turn, when your security is hit, DanDevi burns one of their security, and if he gets deleted, then you get to trash. Then your opponent trashes 2 cards out of their hand. Just a solid card overall. This deck has a lot of recursion, a lot of bringing things back. This guy can come back to the field multiple times in the game, and I think that he's just he's a card that waited for the right support for him to be really good. And then 2 copies of Millenniummon, because we can continue to bring him back. Millenniummon I find has a lot more opportunities to be placed onto the board, without having to digivolve up in a chain all the time. So and Millie is just one of the strongest cards that any purple and or black deck can run, because he's removal and your opponent has to kill this card twice unless they send him to the bottom of the deck or bounce him to the hand. And then for the option cards and tamers, running 2 copies of Trump Sword. Trump Sword, I know that there were some builds that were not running like any type of that, but I feel like removal cards are extremely needed, especially to take care of big things. When your opponent puts a big threat on board, like Shine, like the green Nidhogg, anything like that, and they end up passing turn. The Trump Sword can just be a 1-cost removal just to take care of it, and a lot of times to reset the board, and it's a really good card to hit in security. I was running the 2 Night Raids just to reborn something, and it combos really well with the Anubismon being able to bring something out for 2 costs, and it gains Rush, and then you can do what you want to do with it. But you also use it to bring out the Devi to Digivolve on top of it and set up a DanDevi play for the next turn. 2 copies of Deathclaw. Deathclaw I thought was a pretty decent option, because you can pop your own card to pop when your opponent's like blockers or any level 4 or less, and then obviously it's another card that you can use to combo into getting a DanDevi out onto the board, but it's also a removal card. And then and if you hit Insecurity, you pop a level 4 or lower, so that's always good. And then for 3 copies of Matt Ashita. I wasn't playing 3 before, but after talking with my brother and everybody else, we figured 3 was the best route to go, because you don't want to get memory locked. Getting memory locked in, really in this format seems to be very, very bad unless you have a way to cheat more memory out. And I just rather not get memory locked. Plus, he's a reborn card, so he's really good after like the first turn. If you haven't already, milled certain things to the trash. But seeing him in, most times in the game, being able to grab cards like Night Raid, Trump Sword, grab anything you need to handle a situation or to prepare for a potential situation, to me is always a good thing. And again, he sets your memory to 3, so you're not going to be memory choked. But that's the deck profile, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be going to locals today, and don't know if I'll play this deck, but I'll have a locals part too, and I will be bringing you our games from the locals tournament as well. But this has been the Card Fight King. This is the boy DanDevimon deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys another time. Peace.